Yeah, like I was telling everybody, man, like I said, I'm nobody in particular, man. I appreciate those words from Mr. Larry. Uh, like I said, I remember when I got started and I needed help and wasn't really no help out there. You just had to fish for yourself. And then as I learned things, you know, I'm always looking back to help somebody pull up a bootstrap and get in there and get it. You know, reach one, teach one. That's always been my play. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right. All right, so the first thing I just want, good? Okay. Like I said, the first thing I just wanted to go over, man, is just kind of for the new trappers, man. You always hear a lot of questions in the Patreon. I've even seen a few comments about, you know, what are they paying for? I know Trap has been doing a very excellent job on marketing. So there's constantly new people in and out of the Patreon, man. I know when I first started, you know, I would see a few faces and names in the chat, but then after Trap started this new chat where y'all got the link from, that wasn't there when I first started. It was just the main page. So once he started this new chat, man, this thing just really took off and grew. And, you know, say everybody has a lot of questions. So like I said, the main reason, looking at my sheet there, the main reason you join the Patreon is to get that play from Trap. That's all he's selling you. And like she was, Miko was asking earlier, explaining the play that he dropped. That's pretty much what he does. Now, does he do that every day? No. He'll tell you in a minute he's not a day trader. So he's dropping those plays depending on how the market is reacting and what the market is rewarding. And then when he does drop the play, you just got to be able to have the money and know how to execute it on your platform. Community and connection. For you that have been here a while and even the 1 and 2 weekers, y'all can see that we come together in the community. You don't always see Trap, but we see each other, got some experience, not so much experience, but together we all come together, learn new things, learn new plays, learn new strategies, just get news from each other. Like I said, I woke up this morning and turned on my app and everybody was already chiming in on the Eli Lilly play on earnings. So like it's almost like a broadcasting news center when you get into the chat. So definitely gonna have that community connection there. What will you get out of the Patreon? Like I was saying earlier, you're gonna get some knowledge, you're gonna get some strategies, mentorship, support, and opportunities to build wealth. I've communicated with a few people outside of Trap on this platform that, you know, brought some things to my attention that I incorporated in my everyday wealth building journey. So you'll definitely be able to get that. Now, for those that are new, still trying to navigate the Patreon, I just wanted to go over the app and where you find information. Can everybody see that? I need to blow it up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So, you know, a lot of people, if you're in this tier here, if you're even in this community, you're in the top 2 tiers. A lot of people don't actually know what tier they're in. You know, there's 4 tiers. You have the basic, you have the lottery pick, You have the triple beam team, and you have the masters of the triple beam. Masters of the triple beam is the top tier. Triple beam team is the second tier, second to the top tier. So if you're on this call, you're in one of those two tiers. But if you want to confirm what tier you're in, if you're on your app, just click on your photo icon up there. And then the next screen will pop up, click on memberships. And then once you hit memberships, it'll tell you what tier you're on and what you're paying for that tier. Also keep in mind that these two tiers are the top tiers, right? So if you want to downgrade to the lottery pick tier to save some money, you would no longer be in this community because Trap has separated those tiers. Reason being, the lottery picks do not get access to the option plays. So initially we had the chats all together, and then, you know, some of the people that were receiving the option plays was posting them in the chat. So the people that's on the lottery pick side paying less was still getting access to our plays. So a couple of people complained about that. What are we paying for if people are going to still, you know, post in the chats the plays to people that didn't pay for the plays? So like I said, if you ever want to downgrade and leave this level and go to the lottery picks, then you'll also be removed from this chat in the community. Want to make sure you turn on your notifications. That way you know when Trap posts those plays. Sometimes those posts are time sensitive and critical if you're trying to get in at the same time Trap got in. You know, the market constantly moves up and down, fast or slow sometimes. So Trap drop a play at 9 o'clock, and then you didn't get the notification until 11, and he paid $5.50 for it. You finally get the notification. Now it's at $6.50. Do you still want to get in? It just depends, but you didn't get in when Trap got in. And sometimes we can get in lower. So just make sure you turn on your notifications. Trap's post. Like I said, we just started this chat piece here that everybody's been communicating in, but when it comes to the plays, Trap actually posts those in the main chat. So if you got your phone pulled up, you have those icons there, the home screen, the post, and the chat. You just want to click on post. You just want to click on post, and then it'll pull up all the posts in the order received in the latest post that Trap dropped. I would say that. And then you can just scroll down and just look at them play by play. It's important to actually read Trap posts. You know, sometimes he be rambling, but you know, some of that stuff is good content, good information in there. A lot of it is not plays. Some of it is just information to help us navigate, like he did today. You know, he just kind of gave us a little sigh of relief and about Eli Lilly today. You know, calm our nerves down. You know, sometimes he does that versus just putting in plays. So you do get some interaction from Trap there. If you're new and you're trying to figure out the old play, I always tell everybody to go to Trapping Tuesday, man. It's YouTube, it's free. You just gotta scroll to the Recession portfolio segment, put the screen on pause, all the plays are right there. But if you want to find all the plays in the chat, this is how you get there. Like I say, typically this search engine down here, that doesn't work for, that's a different search. So what you want to do is click on Trap's picture, and then that icon will pop up there for search. And this is a pretty powerful search. Once you type in there, you can type in anything you're looking for. You can just type in lottery picks. You can type in plays, options, whatever the case may be. But if you're looking for a specific play that Trap was talking about, you can put that in there. The search is pretty strong, and it'll pull up any post that might have that information in it to get you closer to what you're looking for. And like Miko was asking earlier, what did all that mean? So when Trap does put an option play in, this is pretty much what they look like. He'll give you the ticker symbol, the name, ticker symbol, the expiration date of the call, the strike price, and what he paid for it. Name of the company, ticker symbol, expiration date of the option play, the strike price that he selected for the option play, and then the premium price that he paid for the option play. Right here, when he posts the lottery picks. Posting the lottery picks pretty much give you a breakdown of information of the company. And then towards the end of all that information, because some of it is pretty detailed, this is where Trap has done all the research and homework. All you have to do is just jot this company down in your notes, wherever you keep notes at. Me personally, I set an alert on the phone, time he drop them. I set an alert on my my platform. I have Charles Schwab. So right here, Trap is telling you the value of the company, $230 for this particular company. His buy-in price, what Trap will buy in at. Once again, he has random numbers on his triple beam calculator, and he has determined that this would be a good entry point to enter in at this stock. Keep in mind, this is saying $290, $295. This stock could be like $350 right now. So that confuses a lot of people also, because he doesn't actually put what the current price is, because you can look that up when he dropped the ticker on you. He's just telling you what he would buy in at. So it could be $300 right now. All you want to do is set an alert for one of these entry points right here. And load the boat means that is a extremely great price to get this stock, and you want to buy as many shares at that price as you can. Now, most of the time, these stocks might not ever get this low, but this is just what the value is at that time. Now, me personally, when I set an alert, whatever Trap's buy-in price is, I always set my alerts $5 more. $5 more. I just do that. So, because these things will go 3-4 months and you won't hear nothing about it. You'll forget all about them. And like when Quad Winchon come around, everything started dropping. Then the alerts start sounding off. Then like, oh man, I forgot all about this company. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're Trap dropping the lottery picks. You know, for the most part, you just setting your alerts, and then just let it be. If it falls, it falls. Get in if you want to get in, if you like the company. If it don't fall, don't worry about it. It's just another service and value that he's added for being a member of the Patreon. And for those that are in the top tier, you have access to the triple beam calculator. Me personally, I don't use it, but you have access to the triple beam calculator. A lot of people wondering where that calculator is, what's taking so long. Generally, about 7 days from the time you sign up, and you'll get an email alert with your login access. If you've already purchased courses from Trap, then you already have a university login, and then the triple beam will be a part of your catalog of courses that you purchase. And the triple beam is about 20-25 minutes of information on how to use it. And that's about it, along with all your other courses. But that's what the course will look like on your platform. And if you have any questions, support@wallstreettrapper.com. Any questions, concerns for my new trappers? I want to make sure y'all understand that so you're not getting lost in the chat every day. No questions.
I have a question.
All right.
Before I go with my question, Philip had his hand up, so I didn't want to break in front of him. Philip.
Philip? Go ahead, Philip. I didn't see your hand. Let's go.
Oh, I didn't have a question. That was just from the earlier question when you asked who was here. What was it, 6 months or more?
Oh, okay. No problem.
Okay, cool. My question is, with the lottery picks, Trap has mentioned a couple times that he restart his portfolio every year. Does he like drop that in the on the page at some point?
Now with that, that's
Or
something
is,
we do on Trapping Tuesday. So
oh, okay.
you'll see him update that. That's a part of the Recession portfolio.
Okay.
That's nothing he really puts in the Patreon deal here. That's for everybody to follow. Now I have seen him do that 2 years in a row, and he's been pretty successful with them. Me personally, I have never followed his buy and hold. I always do the options though, but his buy and hold this year was top tier. I think everything was green but Decker, and not Decker's about to turn green. So
Yeah, hey Darren, yeah, that's right. I follow his buy and hold. So I've had his buy and hold for the last 2 years, and we were six. We went up. I think it was 16% last year. I can't remember. I think it was 16. Might have been a little bit higher. But right now we're up about 54, 55%. And like you said, the only thing the Deckers is about to turn green. So once Decker turns green, man, everything that he's put in that buy and hold and recession portfolio has now um, is printing money for us. And so, but I think I do remember that when he start, he'll tell you in January that he's about to, because he's already told us that every year he's going to take all of the plays out of the recession portfolio and start over. And so he'll let you know when it is. But like you said, he usually does it on Trapping Tuesdays. And once he drops them on Trapping Tuesday, he'll tell you, hey, I'm about to put such and such in the buy and hold. But if I'm not mistaken, those of us who are in uh, who's in the top two tiers, he'll tell us, hey, I'm ready to put this in the recession portfolio, and then if you want to, you can go ahead and go in and put it, follow him in there. If I'm not mistaken, I just
yeah,
wanted to
correct,
share that.
correct. Yeah, so typically at the beginning of the year, all those buy and hold, well, probably at the end of the year, the ones he's in right now, he'll sell them off, regardless of what they are, whatever profits he grabbed, and then he's gonna do his research, see what the market is rewarding, and start new buy and hold positions for the new year. So he'll start off with about 5 or 6 stocks, and he'll add a few more throughout the year, up until 10, no more than 10. Like I said, if you got the bread, when he jumps in that buy and hold, whatever shares you can afford, you can just mimic his buy and hold portfolio. Like I said, I've been seeing him do it for 2 years, and like I said, this year right here, I mean, he was really on it. That thing is up, like Mr. Larry said. So,
Okay, thank you.
who's that? Jarvis, you got a question?
Yes, I have a question. So still on the buy and hold. So since you've been following him for a while, would your recommendation be if we were going to mimic him that we sell the plays that we have now or the stock or ETFs that we have now and we mimic what he's doing, or is it best to start like a new portfolio and then follow him?
I would start a new one, man. I wouldn't sell what you got going on right now, especially if it's working. But once again, like I said, if you got the bread, I'm looking to do it this year too. You know, whatever buying holes you jump in, I might can only do 5 shares, 10 shares, depending on what he's dropping. But I'm looking to follow it too because I just saw it was very successful this year. I'm not
So
gonna sell the stuff I got going on now. I'm just I would start a new portfolio, call it the trap
Yeah,
portfolio.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I know every year that he starts it, I sell all of my shares out of that account, and I'll start right back over with whatever he says he's getting in. I'll get in, and of course, I've added some of my own. I know you said 10, and I think Trap said 10 too, 10, 11. I have no more than 13 in there, and those 13, along with what those the 10 with he's given us, and the other two or three that I've done, they're all doing incredibly well. But I've also followed his method. So I have all his courses. So I have the methodology that he has, and I followed that methodology to it. So once you learn those things, they just run together.
Gotcha. So, Jarvis, to answer your question, man, if you're really passionate about that, like I said, I would be putting my bread to the side. So, when he starts the new portfolio in January, whatever companies he's throwing out there, however many shares you can afford per company, just to get the portfolio started.
Okay, appreciate you.
Any more questions, concerns?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's up, guys? No, I didn't really particularly have a question. I don't know, Fabian is Tehran. I don't know if y'all, that I stepped away from the Patreon for just a moment because I was trying to learn technical analysis, which is like the charting and all that.
Hey, yeah, we saw you pretty quiet this week.
Yeah, I went away to figure out technical analysis properly to kind of follow Trap, because Trap don't really look at the charts like that, but I wanted to learn both sides, like the fundamental and the technical. But I've learned quite a bit now as far as charting, and I don't know how he when he calls the play. Every single play that I've seen so far, it'll go as soon as he posts it. It'll go. Even if it's just for the day or the next day, it'll go and perform. And then after that, you might want to hold on to it he's intending. But I just don't understand how someone who does fundamental analysis but doesn't really chart too much, how does he know exactly when to get in? It's crazy. I looked at all of his plays, the times he did it, and I charted it. And as soon as he post it, it'll perform. That's the part I don't get that. I don't know if anyone else charts here. Janelle, I saw you in here. I don't know if you're still in here, but I don't know how he's able to do that. So I guess it is a question.
Well, Trap, his plays ain't really based on charting, man. Most of the stuff I see him do is kind of like news.
Yeah, no, it seems like all of it is
yeah.
That. I'm just so surprised that he doesn't really look at it. Now he'll look at bar charts and he'll look at the resistance and he'll look at the RSI and look at the overbought, oversold. But in general, he doesn't really look at the chart. But his timing is so good with knowing when it's gonna perform. I don't understand that part. Is I gotta get more information on that. I don't know if it's just time or coincidence or what.
Yeah, I got you.
He's really good.
Well, you gotta understand that Trap, he doesn't deviate from his method. He doesn't deviate from his method, and because he doesn't deviate from his method, once he looks at the RSI, and if the RSI is at 50, and the RSI, as long as the RSI matches up with the RSI and the price range that he's looking at, it all matches up, he automatically strikes. He doesn't deviate from that, and once he gets in, he's in. He lets the play do what it does. But you got to understand, Trap is already he's been doing this for a while, and his research is. I've been around. I had time to spend. I spent time with Trap. His research is so in depth, man. And it's so different from where the market does things that he's just so different from that. And so because he's that way, he doesn't deviate, and he jumps in. And once he jumps in, he lets the players run. And he hit him right, like you said, he hit him right on time. They hit, boom, they start running.
It's crazy. His accuracy is really, really good. He's good with it. So if I've been in here for a while now, in the Patreon, if you're new, when it comes to fundamental analysis, Trap, I'm not to compare anyone else, but his research and what he looks for in a company, it's bar none. I don't think there's any other place that you need to go to learn fundamental analysis. He kind of tackles everything in that under that category.
Gotcha. All right. So what I wanted to cover tonight, man, I think the last call we did, we was talking about rinse and repeat. Can't remember the trapper I was speaking to the last time, but he had the question of if we rinsing and repeating the same companies, why do we need to be paying for the Patreon? And you don't have to pay for the Patreon. You know, you jumped into Patreon, you got the course, you learn how to fish. He told you to find 10 companies. You can rinse and repeat those 10 companies. You don't need to be in the Patreon no more. And he also asked, I don't know if you're on the call, OG. If you're on the call, don't hesitate to speak up, but I'm just reiterating our conversation from the last call. And he said, why does he keep dropping plays if only we need is 10? And I said, at that point, you know, Trap tell you in the course, only 10 courses, only 10 companies is all you need. But, you know, Trap has been recruiting so many people in the Patreon. At this point, he's just surfing, you know, constantly finding new plays. And he got some goals of his own, come to find out, you know, on Trapping Tuesday, you know. He's looking for the big plays now, for the big money. But at the same time, those are the same plays that we have access to if you have the money to play. Now, he never said he was going to give you the money. He's just going to give you the play. You still got to have the money to execute.
Hey,
go ahead,
man. You're right. Go ahead. No, you know, just think about this, man. Just think about this, Travis. You got 10 plays. All you got to do is rinse and repeat those 10 plays. You rinse and repeat those 10 plays. Those 10 plays can make you $1 million plus. You just got to learn how to execute those 10 plays. As I stated, I've been with Trap for 2.5 years, and I've made almost $250,000 just by doing those plays. Not to boast about them, just showing you how powerful those plays can be. Yeah. You know, rinse and repeat them. You know, you buy one contract. If you have the course, you hear him say this all the time. You buy one contract, you get that one contract, you get it to 100%, take it out, buy two, buy four. I've been buying 10 contracts on the plays that he's been giving us, anywhere between 5 and 10 contracts ever since I've been with Trap. If you was on Trapping Tuesdays a couple of months ago when we were talking, no, we not on Trapping Tuesdays, but we was in the call on Saturdays. And Trap was saying that, you know, 10 is his number, and I was the one that said, hey, from now on, I'm going to get 10 contracts every time.
I remember that.
I remember that
too,
because that was my philosophy as well. I said, man,
I'm going to get 10
like
contracts, that. Right? And here's the I've been getting 10 contracts, anywhere between 5 and 10 contracts. Those 5 and 10 contracts have been producing anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 every month or so.
We aspire to be where you are, Mr. Larry.
No, I understand, but here's the key. The child, it's not about it's about the money, but more important, it's about the plays that he's giving you. We learn to execute those plays, man, and all we got to do is just rinse and repeat. He says that all the time. Just rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Okay, if you've been in the Patreon any amount of time, all you're doing is watching him. If you're watching him, he's been playing meta. He's been playing QQQ. He's been playing SMH. He was playing Apple, but he's not playing Apple now. Now he's playing Service now. He's playing TSMC, TSMC. He's playing the same plays that he already has. He added a couple of new ones that he hasn't played before, but he's still adding the same ones. And he gets in, and what I love about Travis is that he's so transparent. We was in the Wingstop play. Those of us who was in the Wingstop play, we had to take L. I took an L early. I took mine early. When mine said 52%, about a month or so ago, maybe about 3 weeks after we got in it, I got out. Right? He took an L. You just gotta have to know your risk tolerance, and then you have to be patient and see when you want to get in and get out, and then cut the losses when you have to cut the losses. So many times, I mean, I've been down to 95% one time on a play. Almost have that play zero me out, and then to see that same play come back and get 130% out of it.
I got you beat, Mr. Larry. Down 98%.
But see, here's the key. our risk tolerance, because we've been in a while. So you was in the play when we was in the first AVGO play about a year and a half ago. When we got it in November. When that play, we had to take an L on that play. I lost $15,000 on that play. Not to talk about the money, it's just to talk about how we trust what we're doing with Trap, and how if you stay in it long enough and continue to do it, you will get paid. The money, it's going to print money for you. So I'm not going to hold you up, man. But just keep rinsing and repeating. Get your 10 companies. Keep rinsing and repeating. Keep following the methodology and the system that Trap has laid out for us, man. I'm telling you, he's not going to be technical. He doesn't do Trap. He probably do know how to do it, but he's not going to do the technical analysis part of it. He's not a day trader. He's a fundamental trader. So he knows that, right? And I'm telling you guys, man, as a person, man, whose goal is to make $1 million, like I told Trap on the call, whose goal is to make $1 million. It is simply here within the next year and a half that we'll have $1 million. And in any 4 years, any 5 years that you continue to do this, you can have $1 million soon.
We appreciate that motivation.
That's a fact. What you just said, that's a fact.
And let me get the LA Trapper. Go ahead, LA.
Yo, what's going on, y'all, man? Yeah, I was just to piggyback on what y'all was saying, man. That's a fact, man. And Taryn, you were saying like how his he doesn't do technical analysis, but he's always on, man. Like, man, Trap, man, like for a Trap it's like he a genius, man. I don't know what exactly you know what I'm saying, where he get these skills from, but it's almost like he was made for this, man. It's like you know what I'm saying, he's like the Kobe Bryant a stock investing. I don't know what it is, and I've been in the buy and hold game since probably like '08. At one point in time, I was, when I first got out the military, I was literally putting my entire check into the stock market, so I've been playing this game for a long time. And if I would have had a community like this, if I would have had a mentor like Trap, you know what I'm saying, back then, I would have been touched $1 million easily a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? So I've been doing this long enough to know the stuff that he's teaching is powerful and it works. So, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, if you actually stick to the script, you know what I'm saying, and don't try to, reinvent the wheel too much, you know what I'm saying? Like OG Larry said, keep rinsing and repeating. Trap letting you know the companies that he's utilizing. He letting you know the companies he got faith in. Once you learn the formula, with or without Trap, you'll be able to, duplicate that formula. And then at that point, as long as you keep, putting that money in there, you're not just constantly pulling it out. And you essentially just kind of flipping your plays and turning your 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, and, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? It's only up from there. You're going to win more than you're going to lose.
Hey, think about this. I'm just sitting here listening, man. Y'all get me excited, man. I'll just think about this. All you have to do, right? All you have to do is just follow what he does. You don't even have to. And Trap got this thing so locked down for us, we don't even really understand it. You don't even have to do it. He always tells us to do research. Great. Okay, we go do our research. But if you're just a new person, I'm gonna give you a hint. I'm gonna give you some great game. I'm gonna give you some great game right now. When I first started this thing with Trap, I'm 61 years old. I've been in the stock market ever since 1998. I've been doing it. I've been in and out of stocks, man, since that time. And I hadn't made more than $10,000 from 1998 until about 2021. No more than $10,000 in any particular year, in and out. I found Trap. I listened to him one day. and the next day I bought his course. I took his course, right? And then I started watching Trapping Tuesdays, and then I got on Trapping Trappers Anonymous. I got in that and started listening to that. Once I started listening to that, then I started and he showed me how to do the option game in 1 month. Just not knowing anything about options, not knowing anything about it, just buying whole stuff. I took what he taught me in 1 month. I took $750, and I turned $750 from knowing nothing about the market, from $750 to $15,000 within the next 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
just following what he said. He said he was going to buy this at this, and he said he was buying it at this price, at this price, this company at this price. And he back then he showed what he got it for. I said, okay. I went in. I'm with you, T. I got a Schwab account. I went, but back then I got a Schwab account now, but back then I was on Robinhood. I went in Robinhood. Robinhood made it so easy for me. I went in Robinhood, put in the company, put in the ticker symbol. It came up. I went to trade, went to trade, went to the month that he said he was buying it at, found the price, and just bought it at that price. That's all I did. And in 750, and I bought, I don't even know, I bought 2 or 3 contracts. I can't remember what it was back then, but I bought 2 or 3 contracts and I just let it ride. I made $15,000. And I DM'd Trap and told him about it. And he was excited. He said, oh, you on your way, OG, you on your way. Because he always called me, you on your way. Next month, and I've been doing it. From May of that time until the time right before we lost the AVGO play, I was up $75,000 in my account. You just by following what he said, not knowing anything.
Look, you talking that talk, man. I love to hear about the wins, OG. You talking that talk.
Man. But I mean, there was some loss, man. Like I said, I lost $15,000, man. I lost $15,000, man, and I was hot. I was upset. Then I turned around and I paid. I took what he showed me how to do. I took that play and I took what he showed me how to do, and I bought SMCI when SMCI was running real good. I bought SMCI. SMCI ran up to $27,000, and my wife $25,000. And my wife and we were on the way, and I was driving, and I had my phone open, and I saw it when I clicked on it. Robinhood and opened it up. It said 27,000. I had gained $27,000, and in a matter of 30 seconds, I lost it all because I couldn't get out fast enough. But you got to understand, you got to take the wins with the losses because they come with this game. I was upset for a few minutes, but you know what I did? I turned around about 2 hours later and got back in SMCI, and about a week later, I had made $30,000.
Facts.
So I'm telling y'all, man, just because, I mean, I don't mean to take up the call, T, but I just wanted to share, man, because I know there's some young trappers out there who say, man, that's a lot of money. But look, you just got to start. A lot of times we don't want to start. You just got to start. Start where you're at. I started with $750. Started with $750, and look where we're at now, almost $250,000.
Yeah, appreciate you sharing your age too, man, because we got different age brackets.
At 61. I'm 61. The goal is to be by the time I turn 65 to be a multimillionaire. That's the goal.
That's the goal. And so we just tracking with it. Now, of course, a lot of other things come with that, but majority of it, I wanted to be in the market. And that's what we go. That's what we do. We keep trapping. We take the losses, man, and we go back into the lab and see where we messed it up at. And then we come back out the lab. When we come back out the lab, we come back out the lab swinging, man, knowing where we going. We got to keep trapping, man. Keep trapping. I got a question from Miss Miko.
Yep. I got a few questions. So first, Mr. Larry, you say y'all have a call on Saturdays? There's a call on Saturdays?
Well, that's the 1 month call you get with Trap. He announces those at his leisure, but it's supposed to be one call once a month. And he normally does them on Saturday, and he'll post a last minute link for you to get on the Zoom call if you're in the top tier. That's Masters of the Triple Beam.
Oh, okay. I'm in that. I was just wondering if that was with people who had made a certain amount of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, anybody can get on that call if they're in the Masters of the Triple Beam top tier. And he spends about 4 or 5 hours, man, just like we're doing now, just answering questions.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. So then you're showing the triple beam, what I'm seeing on the screen. You said something about the triple beam calculator. Now I have this triple beam in my stuff, but what is the actual calculator?
It's inside the course, so he breaks all that down if you have that.
Oh, it's in the
and he
course.
shows you how to use it. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Now what's my next question? The way that you showed your screen and how everything looks on the app, is that from an iPhone?
Mine is not an iPhone. Mine is actual Droid.
Okay, because I have Android and I was trying to go through my stuff. My stuff don't show up like yours does, with like where you can see the post and all of that. And then lastly, would you ever be willing to go through how you do the research? I know it's in the course, but I'm like, just actual show the process.
Yeah, I could do that. What exactly are you referring to?
I was going to ask that same question because that's a lot. I was going to ask that same question.
Yeah, so like he's saying, do the research. So in the class, of course, it'll say, okay, go to this website, look for this. Now go to this website, look for that. Now go over here and look for this. Now find the strike price. Now find this. Now find the delta. Now, so I'm like, is there a like? Can somebody just walk through it? Like whatever y'all are doing.
Okay, so I saw somebody have a question like that in the chat this week, and her thing was, what is the step-by-step process? Okay. The step-by-step process is the sauce. If you do it all on paper first, everything that he tell you to look for it, write it down on a sheet of paper. That was my process. I ran 4 plays on paper to the T, found all the information, and I was confident and went to my platform and looked up those numbers and executed the plays that way. Then eventually I created spreadsheets, but the sauce is your step-by-step play. If you take out a sheet of paper, look for the things that he tell you to look for, write down the information, I promise you, you'll get it.
And so then when you go to your platform, if those numbers don't match up, then that's what you keep on your watch list?
You go into the closest one.
Based on the percentage. That's what you're saying?
Yes, correct, yes.
Okay. All right.
On your platform, they're going to give you a specific number that the market has, but your numbers and your research might be slightly different. You go with the closest one to your numbers.
Oh, okay. All right, that's all I got for now. Thank you.
All right, Miss Janelle, I saw your hand up.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I was just enjoying the testimonial and just wanted to encourage everyone, if you are new to this, everything that was said is 100% accurate. Just stay locked in. You know, you're going to take some L's with the W's, and that's just part of the game. One of the things I wanted to share, 2 things actually, with the meta play. We all know that went a little sideways today. But I wanted to say that it's really, really important to buy yourself some time. And one of the things I see some people doing is doing shorter term plays. Personally, my belief, I don't know if there's anyone else who disagrees, but my personal belief is learn how to do the leaps and get success with the leaps first, especially if you're starting out, because when you buy yourself time, you know, days like today, and if you buy at a discount, let me put that in there too. Because some of Traps plays are high, buying at a discount and buying yourself time. Those are 2 things that can really make a day like today not hit as hard. So for example, I'm still in the Lily play, but I'm only down 35% because I bought it at a really, really deep discount. And I just want to encourage people, like, go through the course, follow the formula, and also set your rules and try to stick to those rules. as much as you can, as best as you can, as your guidelines. The other thing I wanted to say to encourage folks, I think we got another good year for chip stocks. I was listening, something piqued my interest on the Meta earnings. I was reading an article and they said that they are going to be investing heavily, continually investing in their AI infrastructure for the next year. And so what that told me is all of the chip stocks are still going to be running. They're still going to be running in 2025. So you got TSM, all of the related chip stocks, AVGO, NVIDIA, of course, et cetera. So I think that is a good thing and something to keep in mind, that we still have some runway. Now, I don't know what the election is going to do to that, but we still have some runway. So I just wanted to encourage people and stay locked in. That's all I got.
Hey, Janelle, what you say you was down on the Eli Lilly?
35%.
Yeah, you got me. I'm down 50.
Yeah.
Man, okay.
Yeah, she got it at a good price. She got it at a good deep discount.
I remember when she spoke about it. I knew I had them effed up.
Hey, one thing I like what Janelle is your name, correct?
Janelle.
One thing I like what Janelle said. Janelle said, make sure you get the rules. You got to have rules in this game, because your rules are going to keep you in the game. That's one thing that I really stick to. I stick to the rules in the game, because the rules, as an athlete and a coach, it's all about the rules for us. We want to make sure we know the rules so that we can have longevity in what we're doing and have success in it. So you just want to make sure that you understand the rules, and Trap gives you the rules. And as long as we don't deviate from the rules too much, and I know we're gonna, because here's what happens. He gives us the game on what happens, but he doesn't tell us how to play the game. Right? He gives you little nuances of how to get started and what you should do, but he don't say, hey, go do this. If you've been listening to the last, he said, I'm ready to go into this play, but don't follow me. And because we're in Patreon, we're gonna follow him anyway, because he's been showing us how to have success for the older OGs that's been we've been around, so we've been watching him, and we've seen that the plays that he's called, we've had more success than had failures in. So we'll follow him, but it's up to you to decide which one you want to get in.
Yep.
Right. And so, make sure you understand the rules and you play by the rules, because if you play outside of the rules, then you're going to get burned.
And one thing I will say to that is your rules will help you decide which of those plays to get in and which to pass on.
True.
An example is the wing play. I did not get in the wing play because I combined the fundamentals with the chart, and I was looking at the chart and I was like, nah, this isn't for me. And so that's okay. Right. But I want to really just drive that home, that use the course as the foundation. That formula is gold. I had tried to learn options for like a year before stumbling upon Trap's course, and it was just Greek to me. And I consider myself an intelligent person, and I was just like, what are you talking about? I hired somebody to teach me. I couldn't understand what was happening. And the masterclass just made it like I got it like that. So if you haven't bought the course, definitely buy the course, because you need that foundation. That formula is the foundation. Now, it's an art and science to this game. I see a lot of times new trappers come in and they're trying to understand some of Trap's more recent plays and line it up with the formula. They don't always line up because he's been doing it for a while. So it's an art and science for him now. But I encourage you, if you're starting out, to stick to the formula. And then, like I said, develop your rules on top of that and use that as your guide. As you continue to mature in this game, you're going to get into the art part of the art and science. Like, for example, the clack play, that didn't meet my rules, but I just felt like, okay, this might do something. And that was the art. It didn't meet the science portion necessarily, but there were some signals and it was the art part of it. So I just want to say all of that. Don't feel like you have to get it all. There's a lot of stuff happening. You will grow and mature in this game, but take the course, get the formula down, practice it, paper trade if you need to, and then set your rules for what you will enter. What is your exit criteria? How much are you willing to lose? How much do you want to make? How many contracts are you going to buy at a time? What stocks do you trade? What don't you trade? For example, I don't trade Tesla. It's too crazy and volatile. I don't trade Coinbase. They dropped today. It's too volatile. I don't trade Microsoft. I don't care what's happening. I don't trade those. So that's all.
Appreciate that, Janelle.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Definitely one of the OGs in the chat, so y'all always see Janelle in there dropping game and insight for new trappers. Definitely stay tapped in. Teron, you got a question?
It's not not another question. It might turn into that, but from what you guys just heard, Janelle is one of the people who got me curious about the whole charting thing. Just heard her say like she's been doing this for some time now, and I guess this can go to the new people and to people who've been in it. If you're curious about like charting, Janelle is somebody that can help you out with that, like just like the intro to it. But David, I was saying before, like you saw I was a little quiet this week because I had to get more information on the charting part. I'm just like, so like I wanted to get all this information. I like go when it comes to getting information. I will sit here for like 5 hours studying, reading, watching videos, and until I understand. And when it comes to the fundamental analysis and everything that we talk about here, and then sometimes people get confused, like, so what happened here? What happened here? Well, and not to like fully promote charting, but if you look at it, a lot of the times your brokerage, like I'm pretty sure Robinhood does it too. Webull definitely does it. You could look at earnings, right? So with the Lilly play today, earnings happen, and it sometimes it doesn't even matter if earnings, the company does well, performs well in earnings, the stock can still drop. So you weather the storm sometimes through earnings, and then it'll regulate, it'll settle and go back to where it was. So that Lilly play you guys are talking about, I'm pretty sure it'll go back to where it was before the report. And there was another one, I think it was Meta. Janelle was saying Meta traded sideways. I just looked at the chart, and without going into detail, it hit something called a key level. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but if you don't, it's okay. There's this term in charting called key level. It hit a point where it just hit the resistance point, and it came down a little bit, but it should be okay in the long run. Again, traps plays are like really, really, really good. One thing that I ran into, one issue I ran into, and I talked to Thavian about it 2 weeks ago in the previous meeting. For me, traps plays are expensive, right? Even at a discount for me, it's expensive. I'm working with like $2K in the account, right? So like I definitely look for that discount. I look for when those contracts are on sale. But you may have to, after you take the course and learn how to navigate through the market, whether it be just fundamental analysis or technical, whatever it is, what have you. You kind of want to research and you might want to fish for yourself, or just take a look. For an example, Thavian was telling me about Walmart. He was like, Walmart is great. Look into Walmart. So like that might not be something that Trap looks at the moment. I don't know if he ever looked at it, but that he's playing in the big leagues with like Lilly, Meta, like those bigger companies. Like Walmart's huge too, right? But Walmart, they split their stock so much that it's very affordable for an entry trader like myself who has a lower capital. So you might want to look into those companies that are great, like Walmart, to kind of get your feet wet, study that company, do the fundamentals, and if you like, chart it out and see where that goes for you. That's all I have.
I appreciate you, man. Andre, and then I'll finish up the slide.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. I watched Trap last night, and he was talking about how after the election, typically the market goes up. But also looking at the uncertainty in the market, what I decided to do, all my positions that were green, I just went ahead and cashed them in and jumped out. So I got a lot sitting on the sidelines, just kind of waiting for a chance to get back in. I don't know if that was a smart play or not so smart. I just didn't want to take the chance of losing everything that I had
Yeah, nothing
gotten.
wrong with that. Yeah, we did that for quad winching. Anything that was green, 1st of August, when it sold it off, because we knew by the end of August it was all going down. So
Right, and with the uncertainty with the election and the war, I just didn't want to leave my money out there. Just to be honest with you. So I don't know. It may I may miss this next run up. I don't know, but I just didn't want to take a chance.
all right, no problem. I think Janelle might have an answer for you. Go ahead, Janelle.
Yeah, I was just gonna. Y'all know I talk a lot of stuff in the chat, and I just I just the other day was like, why y'all taking your money out? But here's the thing, it's nothing wrong with taking profit, okay? And what I want to encourage everyone is when you are starting out, you have to build your resilience. So that, being able to stay in a play, like Larry said, he was down 95%, Fabian was down 98%. Like, you have to build that ability. There is absolutely nothing wrong with taking your profits and then repositioning yourself. That's smart, especially when you're starting out. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So please don't feel, don't be hard on yourself. Don't question that. That is perfectly okay. You definitely get to a point where on the other side of that, like, you do want to get to a point where, we buy leaps for a reason. You want to get to a point where you build up to being able to weather the storm, so to speak. But yeah, kudos to you for recognizing that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, just to add on to what Janelle was saying, I have seen a lot of people, they didn't really understand the process because in the course, Trapper tells you create. Go ahead and mute, Andre. Trapper tell you to cut your losses at a certain percentage, and a lot of new people was doing that. I never really agreed with that, but because I've seen it how it can go up and down, and like Janelle was saying, we buy time, so I got so much time left. Even if I am down 20% and my rules say 20%, I'm not finna sell that. And there was a lot of people just selling losses, just back to back, just selling losses. You don't spend $5,000 and you don't sold it, and you got back $3,000 to put in another play. You don't spent that $3,000 and it's down 20%. Now you got $1,500 left, and now you're trying to put that in another play. At some point, you just got to let them run. If you're in the right company and a good company, and you're buying that time, sometimes it is down, but you only lose when you sell. And if you got a little time, give it a minute to go back up. That's what I add to that. If anybody got anything else to share on that.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. But I also understand that as a new trapper, as Janelle just said, you have to build up to that. You just can't go out and say, I'm gonna hold for 95%, to let it go down 95%, expecting that it was gonna go up. Knowing that if it hit 90, knowing that if it hits, most likely if it hits 70 to 80%, you in the hole so much now that it's not gonna come back, right? But you have to build up to that. And I understand what Trav was saying, 10, 15%, you want to, if you're new, to take it out because you don't want to, they see their money they're losing their money. And as they're losing their money, they don't know what to do. But I'm with you, if I'm in it, then I want to, and I know that I'm going to lose some money. Then I'm just going to let it run and watch it go up to the point. I got to the point where if it gets to 50%, I don't even sweat 50% anymore. Right? But you have to build up to that because that doesn't come because you're dealing with money. And when you're dealing with money and people take their hard-earned money and they put it into the market, expecting the market to bring back a return, and it doesn't, and it goes against you, then they feel like they're doing something wrong when it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just the way the market is. The market don't care anything about you. The market's going to they're going to do what they're going to do. We just have to make sure that our entries and our exits are on point so that we can get in and get out with money instead of losing a lot of money. Because as each one of the OGs have already said, you're going to lose money in this game. It just depends on how much money are you willing to lose, you know. And as a new trapper, you got to make sure that you're following the rules and the course the way it's set up so that you don't lose as much, but learn as much as you can so that you'll build up that tough skin. You'll build up the tough skin so that when you build that tough skin up, you see a play and it'll go against you. You won't panic.
David, can I say one last thing? I know we're a little over.
Right.
I want, especially everybody who's new, if you've been trading for a while, whether it's options or stocks, you know this. One of the things I love about this game is it teaches you about yourself. And
hold on. Say that one more time. Say that again.
What I love about this game, for me, I don't mean this to sound away. Like, it's about the money, but it's not just about the money. So, for example, I used to run and I hated running, but I loved running because I used to run to master the discipline of doing something that I didn't really want to do physically. Trading teaches you about your beliefs about money. It teaches you about so many things, like just the psychology of it. That's really the beauty of it, especially if you come from, you know, Trap calls it a poverty mindset, or just not having the awareness. And you're doing this for the first time, like you're the first person in your family or whatever the case may be. You're going to have beliefs that go against what we are starting to learn. Trading is going to show you, it's a mirror. It's going to show you exactly what you need to work on. So for example, you might be up 30% in a play and you might have a thought creep up like, oh, let me just go ahead and cash out and take my money. I know I got 6 months, but I don't want to lose it. That right there. You're thinking about money in a certain way of your fear of losing versus what you can gain. And so be very mindful. That's the beauty of this game. Be mindful of what it brings up for you and be willing to challenge your beliefs around money, around especially the idea of potentially losing money. You have to change your mindset in this game. So I just wanted to say that because for me, that's been the most powerful and transformative part of this game. That's all I got.
Appreciate that, Janelle. Appreciate that. I'm going to jump over to what I want to discuss today. Like I said, I was speaking earlier about rinse and repeat, the conversation I had with one of the trappers on the last call. And like he was saying, why do we need to continue to pay Trap in the Patreon for plays if we only going to do 10? Like I said, you can do 10 and you can get out of the Patreon. If you got the right 10 companies, it's going to work for you. So yeah, just rinse and repeat. Like I said, nothing more than using the same company. But at the same time, you need to have the technical analysis on when to get back in. Now I'm gonna run through an example of me in the beginning. I rinsed and repeated SMH earlier this year. So I got all the ticker symbols, the price points I paid when I went in. I'm gonna show you the RSI at the time. Keep in mind, when I was doing all this, I hadn't even had the course yet. I'm up there just freestyling. Like Trap say, you know, it's bad when you win in the beginning because you don't know how to lose. And then when you do lose, you get punched in the face hard. So just rinsing and repeating is almost like when you're using to get into your first play. You know, you want to use the indicators. And the course talks a lot about RSI. RSI and moving averages is pretty much what the course used to get you to establish your entry points. That's how I started. I was pretty successful at it, but then like Teron said, you know, start being introduced to new people. Like Janelle, she was big on charting, so I end up, you know, adapting that mindset and strategy. Added it to my weapons catalog for stock options, and it's working pretty well for me. You know, some of the indicators that we're using for rinse and repeat, like say the RSI, you got your moving averages, your 50-day, your 120-day, and your 200-day moving averages. I incorporated the Alligator method in my portfolio. Also the Bollinger Bands. I don't necessarily use the signal use, but if that's something you want to research, that can help you also. So the play I did was SMH. Now, like I said, I got my dates here. So as you can see, May 16th is when I jumped into SMH. This is the date that I sold it. Now, this is how I like to play. This was phenomenal to me because my money was not tied up for a long period of time. Bought it 516, sold it 524, 105%. Will we get lucky like that all the time? Probably not. The stock price was $232 at the time. My premium was $530. I ended up paying $1061.32. When I cashed out, it was $21.82 for a profit of $1121.30, 105%. Rinse and repeat, same company. I jumped back in, 528. I sold it on 614. These dates are critical. Rinse and repeat. The stock price at the time was $249. The premium was $9. I purchased it for $900. When I sold it, $1804. Once again, 100% profit. What Trap say? Get your 100% and get out. I did that. $903. Once again, I'm feeling good. I'm on it. You can't tell me nothing. I got this game. Boom, 620. I jumped back in. Now I sold this at 8.2. But you see this difference between these short runs here? This one was a little longer. As you can see, the stock price at the time was $268. The premium was $10. I ended up paying $1,000. I like to play in that 1,000 range. When I sold it, I only got $48. Lost $952, 95% loss. I shouldn't have did that play right there. But when I go through the RSI and everything like that, I'll show y'all what happened right there. Then I decided to get back in 625. 710, I sold it. Notice here, stock price 268. I got in too high. I didn't wait for it to come back down. But I lost there. Keep in mind, when I sold, as you can see, I sold this before I sold that. I knew I messed up right here because it was constantly dropping. So I re-entered later once I saw the price drop. See that there? Keep in mind, I bought this on 625. Stock price at the time was 261. My premium was $3.95. Premium price don't always correlate with stock price. I always keep that in mind. I had to learn that the hard way too. If I bought the stock at 268 and the premium was $10, I could come down here and this stock price would be 268. You still wouldn't be here at $10. It just depends on the volatility. They'll raise the premiums up if a lot of people jumping in and out of the plays. If there's no movement or it's going down tremendously, you'll get a discount. You'll hear everybody talking about the discount on the premium. And in hindsight, I ain't know none of this at the time like I know now. But that's where, data. See all this? This is my data. I have went back and researched my old plays and what I did wrong and what I coulda, shoulda, woulda did. So now I know how to move forward in the future. So always have data. Record your data. I think Trap calls it journaling. So yeah, I jumped back in that play. Stock price was 261, premium 395. I paid 791. I sold it 907. Small gain. But I'll go ahead and tell you what happened here. Like Janelle was saying, I ran a short position, meaning my expiration was probably like 30 days, which is against Trap rules here. He don't do a 30-day play, but some people jump into expirations with short time on them because they're cheaper. But everything got to go your way if you do that. Everything got to go your way if you do that. Got a question from Andre. What you got?
Hey, real quick, is Janelle still in the chat?
Still in the chat.
Hey, I've been looking at the Alligator method, and it actually helped me make some money on the JP Morgan play. But my question, when I'm looking at the Alligator, do I look at all the time frames, or is there one specific that you like to work from?
I just do the year and by the day, so it's just a daily. But I have honestly, that's a good question because I have on Thinkorswim with Schwab. I just have a year chart and I'm looking at the daily. But I also have Webull and I usually am looking at the 5 minute, but that's if I'm actively going to, like if I'm actively trading. So if I have bought, like Fabian's talking about right now, if I have bought something with a shorter expiration date and I'm watching it because I know I want to sell it, I'll look. But I'm using not just the Alligator when I'm doing that. And on Webull, I use the super trend indicator, which is another one that I highly recommend because it literally tells you when to buy and sell. But yeah, that's basically I'm looking at the year chart and the daily.
Okay. You said the super trend indicator, is that just something specific to Webull, or is that?
It's on Webull and it's on Fidelity's charts. It's not, I haven't figured out a way to add it to Thinkorswim, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, you can set up a Webull account for free and just to add that indicator. That's what I did.
Okay. And what's that name one time?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Super trend.
Super trend. Okay.
Yeah, so it's on Webull. Hey Janelle, I on the technical analysis side, I use the 5, the 15, and the 30 minute, as well as the 4 hour, the 1. And I don't want to get into a lot of technical analysis, but those I look at those things, and I use the MACD. I don't. Yeah, never mind. I don't want to go into all that. Never mind.
Nah. Go into it.
I changed my mind. No, I don't want to get it. That's for a whole nother. I don't want to get into all that. Thanks, Janelle. Thanks, Janelle. I don't want to.
You might need to run your own meeting because I'll be ready to talk about it. I'm so excited. Like, oh my goodness, I learned so much.
Yeah, when you said it, I'm like, oh. I wanted to get into it, but never mind. I'm sorry, my fault.
I love it.
I don't want to make it complicated because I'm gonna be honest, and Fabian, this kind of ties to what you're talking about. Like you started out without even buying the course. I didn't start out here. So I want everybody to, I don't want people to be scared, like, oh, I got to learn this. Now I got to learn technical analysis. And I did not start with that. I did exactly what I just said earlier. Get the course, learn the formula, learn how to apply the formula so you can hunt. And then when you put technical analysis on top of that, whoo, that's when it goes crazy.
It'll blow your mind. Yep, you're right. That's how I started. That's exactly how I started. So yep.
You become real vicious when you have all the tools to fight.
So thank you. You have everything on this sheet of paper. Is this a document that you created, or is this document somewhere? Because you have the definitions and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I made it for this class. I could put a link in the chat towards the end for everybody to take with you.
So awesome. Thank you.
All right, so now we'll go ahead and look at the charts on this SMH and all those moves I made. All right, so for this particular one here, I use stockcharts.com. That's what trappers recommend for you in the course. Can everybody see that? I'm gonna blow it up a little bit. All right. So if we go back, 516, 232. That's here, May. That's when I jumped in. Oh, by the way, this right here is the alligator method. Now, I'm a little unorthodox when it comes to the colors. I set my own colors. They're not the normal colors. So when it comes to the alligator method, for anybody that's used to it or not used to it, you have the lips, the teeth, and the jaw. In my case here, pink lips, gold teeth, black jaw. That's how I set my colors up for the alligator method. Pink lips, gold teeth, black jaw. Now keep in mind, when I ran this play, I didn't know anything about none of that. I'm pretty much going off the momentum and what Trap is saying in the chat. So I jumped into SMH right here. That's what it looks like on the chart. And it looks like this on the RSI. Trap likes to jump in plays when the RSI is above 50. If you're familiar with the term RSI, anything over 70 is overbought here. Anything under 30 is oversold. So this is that happy median right there. That's what Trap likes to get in. Once he sees momentum shifting above this line and is heading north, that's when he likes to get in. That's when he'll start running the play. Keep in mind, if you jump in down here, you're going to have huge upsides all the way up here. Are you guaranteed that? No, you could hang out down here for a long period of time. But for the sake of this play right here, we had been down. I think something happened in April. We was down hard, and we knew that downtrend was over. And this is where I started jumping in at. So that first play, 516, stock price 232. I sold it at 524. That's here. Bought, sold, 105%. The second, as you can see, we're still on that uptrend. I jumped in here. What was that price? 249. Bought 528, sold 614, 249. Bought, sold, bought again, sold up here. Still got that momentum going. Now this is the one I should not have bought. As you can see, The RSI is above 70. But once again, I didn't pay any attention to that. I just knew that thing was moving and I was looking to get more. So I did buy here. And I end up selling over here at a huge loss. Now, as you're looking at this, you could say, why didn't you sell here? Would that be a question? Anybody can answer? After the fact, why didn't you sell here? Because from here to here, I probably was like 15 to 20%. And I'm looking for the bag. So I held on to it, thinking I was going to get that run again. Never happened. And now, as you can see, straight downtrend. Down, 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 down. And at that point, I was getting close to my expiration date. So I had no choice but to sell it.
Fabian, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
This is a question for everyone on the call who has watched the Alligator Method video, which you were probably, apologies if you were going to go here, Fabian, but what was the indication there was a signal based on the Alligator Method that would have told you to get out of this trade? What was it? Where was it?
Yep, I know that one.
Come off mute, and whoever knows the answer.
Isn't that where when the candle hits that middle that middle line? I think what's that? The teeth, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So with the Alligator Method, which I posted the video in the chat if you haven't watched it, when the price closes below the teeth, that is usually a strong indication that it's about to drop. The inverse is true as well. So when you see where Fabian first started getting in, I would bet, we can't really see it on the image, but I would bet the Alligator Method would have showed when it closes above the teeth, that will show you it's on an uptrend. So yes, that's why, that's the power. That's what I mean when I say that's the power of being able to combine some of this more technical stuff with, okay, this is fundamentally still a good stock, but stocks go up and down, as we all know. The indicators will help you understand when they're going to go down, when they're going to go up.
What I was going to add on top of that is, you also got to know like what a candle's telling you. You got to know what it means. When she says the price closing, you got to know what that means. So if you're not sure what she meant by like the price closing on the candle, you might want to look at a video on like how to read each candle, because every single candle is literally telling you a story. So real quick, basically, a red candle is when let me see. I don't know if you guys can. You guys can't see my cursor, but I'm gonna try to kind of guide you. But you see the number 13 right there, that large red candle where the number 13 is. Exactly. So the price started kind of like where Fabian's cursor is. The candle started right there at the top, went as low as all the way at the bottom where you see that little wick is at the bottom when the body is closed, but you see that tiny little wick. The price went as low as that, went as high as the top, but closed at the bottom where his cursor is. So when she says the price closed, that is what she's talking about. And you can see the teeth are right under where that is. That's how you know to leave. I'm not gonna say the rest, but yeah, just to leave. I'm gonna stop right there.
But can I say this? And this is for someone, I read charts. I've been reading charts, not so much candlesticks. That was something I had to do a little different. But in my day job, I read charts, and I've been doing that for about 20 years. For simplicity, because when I saw the information about the alligator chart, and I watched the video, and I said, oh yeah, once I put it onto my chart, to keep it simple, you just got to really know that I look at it three ways. If the candlestick is above, I think it's the top part of the alligator, then you know that you're on an uptrend. If you know that candle is below the alligator, that's not really a good one to look at. you know, then it's going to be on a downtrend. And, you know, for me, just keeping, you know, having that, and when everything sort of, and I don't know if you can see it, show it here, because I'm just looking on my phone, when it breaks down, you know, when all the lines sort of meet together, you know, if you just keep those three concepts, you know, my philosophy is always keep it simple. So, and I
Yeah,
sort of
I blow
highlight,
this up so everybody can understand the candles here.
because there was three lines on there, right? There's the teeth, there's the, what do you call that top line,
The lip,
Janelle?
the teeth, and the
The,
jaw.
the lip, the teeth, and the jaw is the one that's on the bottom, right?
In this particular one, yeah. But you know,
Yeah,
sometimes the jaw can be at the top, like the jaw at the top right here. It
right,
switched over. So lips,
right.
teeth, jaw. And like I said, that's why I just set my colors that way. It was easy for me to remember, because you got to know the right line in order to understand the right play. So pink lips, gold teeth, black jaw. And your lips is the one that's constantly moving at a faster pace. And everything depends on if it's gonna close above or below the teeth.
Yeah, but also too, if you just look at just capture just that picture of the alligators with the three lines are open. Like if you notice on your downtrend, all your candles are below, and if you can still see that sort of alligator formation there. And then if you look at the uptrend, you see that alligator formation, but then all the candles are on the upside. I mean, that's just, you know, for me, that was just just a real simple way of looking at it.
Gotcha. I got a question from Miss Ashley. Ashley, did you still have a question? All right. All right, let's see.
David, can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah.
I couldn't even get unmuted, but I love that your alligator has gold teeth and pink lipstick, first of all. So I get the concept of the alligator method, but I'm just having a hard time just opening a chart and using it. So on this is stockcharts.com.
Stockcharts.com. Yeah.
So you just selected the alligator chart. Is that what you did right from that screen?
Well, you actually have to put this together on the chart. I kind of went over that on my last call, so I can show you how I put that together.
Okay.
In real time. Once I finish this, we can do that.
Okay, cool.
All right. Where was I at here? Because I also have Thinkorswim. I use that as well. Everybody don't have that. So like I said, I know Trap introduces everybody at least to stockcharts.com in the course. So I've learned to navigate that. And it's an easy read for me. I still use Thinkorswim, but I like the way things look and flow on stock charts once you put them together. But
yeah, because I'm not trying to get deep into the charts like that. I just want to be able to have like a basic know-how of how to just look at what I want to look at. And again, I'm having a tough time. I got so many accounts with Webull and just everywhere. And I'm like, I still can't even open the chart up and look at nothing.
All right. So yeah, I can go over that real quick. But before I go any further, since I was starting on rinse and repeat, Do anybody have any questions on the way I jumped in and jumped out? Because like I said, I did all that without the technical analysis. Now I know more about technical analysis. I understand where I went wrong and things of that nature. So that's why I was highlighting it here with RSI and the decisions I should have and should not have made. So from this point, I can blow this thing up and just show you some of the technical analysis things like Janelle was talking about that we can read in hindsight, because going in the future, when you get ready to make your next play, you're going to research all that stuff back here, because the play is up here now. And it looks real nice and good looking at it after the fact. But now you got to be able to navigate in real time and read what these lines are doing and what the candles are doing at that time to make your decision. See, we can easily go back now and look at all this and what we would have, could have, should have did. See what I'm saying? So like I said, these are my jumped in here. I should not have jumped in here. Why? Because the RSI is above 70. It was too high. When it's above 70, at some point, it's going to come back down. Now, I've seen some stocks ride up here, you know, for about a month. Now, at your point, at some point, if you're new to the Patreon and you see everybody up here winning, and you come in the middle and just jump in right here, because everybody, you know, in the chat, you know, talking about their wins, but they was down here. Yeah, they winning when it's up here right now. And then you join the Patreon and you jump in right here, and then boom. Oversold. So at some point, it's going to come down from up here, just a matter of when.
And it's amazing too, looking at that, Davian. Like if you would have, like you said, you didn't know about the RSI back then, but had you have known that, you literally could have rinsed and repeat this 4 times and won on this just by going off RSI.
Yep. See, at this point, you know, I'm kind of nervous and scared now, because we don't know what it's going to do. But here, I was just, you know, riding the wave. But like I said, this play right here, I should not have done. This was my only mistake here. And then I tried to recover when I bought this one, but it wasn't many gains on my last one, see. Only 14%. Trying to get some of that back in hindsight. All right. This is the alligator method with that play. I also like to use the Bollinger Bands. Now with the Bollinger Bands, you have your lower and upper level resistance levels. In the middle here is the average price. I kind of like this, because if I'm down here, you can guarantee that the stock will at least go back to the average. And this line right here will all give you the average price of the stock. If it goes up here, at some point, you're going to know it's going to at least come back down to the average price. Now, what they say about the Bollinger Bands, Trap had mentioned this. He probably don't use it in detail. I have learned to go a little further, but just in hindsight, if it hits this resistance level here, it's pretty much safe bet it's going to start a downtrend somewhere. But look at this one here. We're looking at what's that? May 20th. It constantly hit this thing. You expected it to come down. That's what they'll tell you. But there's other indicators that you can learn to tighten up your decision on getting in or getting out. But for the most part, if you just pull up Bollinger Band, if it hits this level, the ceiling, look for it to start coming back down to the average. If you hit the bottom, you can start looking for it to go back up to the average. But there's some more stuff involved. But like I said, just looking at the Bollinger Bands, if you just wanted to at least use it for that, I kind of like to use it for the average. I like how it identifies the average stock price. I don't trust it so much on when it's going to bounce off of these. That's where the alligator method comes in for me. Like I said, you always want to use 2 indicators. Now, I know Janelle says she used 2 different ones. I've come to put the alligator together and the Bollinger Bands. They've pretty been working successful for me and helping me understand when a trend is changing. Go ahead, Janelle.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to jump. So last thing I want to say is, again, I'm always thinking about the people who are just starting out. And I know it can be confusing. Well, I know it can be overwhelming. I should say that. There's multiple ways to add technical analysis on top of what TRAP teaches. So you don't have to know all of this. Like you know, Thavian's showing Alligator and Bollinger Bands, you know, but you can just find the one that works for you if it's something that you want to do. The book that I shared in the chat, and I'll share it again before I bounce, Stan Weinstein's Secrets for Profiting in Bull and Bear Markets. I swear by this book. I read this book multiple times a year. And this is the book that started me out on technical analysis, and he makes it so simple. He breaks a stock chart into stages, and there's certain stages when you buy, and there's certain stages of that chart when you stay away. And so if the technical stuff is really overwhelming or confusing, I think this is an excellent entry, or at least it was a great entry for me before I got into even more technical things like the alligator method. So I'm gonna post the link again for anyone who's starting out and you're looking for a way to get started with charts. I highly, 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 highly recommend it.
You know, if I have any questions as far as the technical side of things, I guess should I just shoot you a message in the Patreon whenever I see you there, or?
Yeah, I'm in here all the time.
Okay, because I have like, there's other tools that I use. I use like seven to 10 different indicators. So I'll have some questions for you regarding that. Do you still this is like a side thing, but do you still day trade, or you just normally swing trade?
I don't. I dabbled in day trading, but I have a 9-to-5. I don't have time, and I was missing. You know, I was missing things. So now all I do is leaps and swings. That's it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Appreciate that. Yeah, like Janelle was saying, man, you know, you first want to learn the course. I think the course just gives you the basics before you start getting into the technical analysis, because before technical analysis, I mean, you still can make decisions, good decisions, on quality plays if you've done the research on the company. The technical analysis just, you know, tighten things up. And one thing Janelle brought up in the video that she posted is about, you know, getting your premium price at a discount. Now, her rule of thumb is she wants to get into a play where she guaranteed, you know, 100% return on the premium. So the premium price got to be the right price. And but she gave the premium price and divided by 2. I thought that was phenomenal. I've been using it ever since. Now, me personally, what I've learned from that, me personally, you don't have to do the 100%, but at the same time, it makes you aware of what you could possibly get. You know, a lot of traps plays, we've come to find out, you know, a lot of them don't have 100% behind them on the premium because we don't bought them so high. So once I tapped into that method that Janelle brought up, if I put a number in and it's 80%, 60% based off the premium, I know that when it gets there, I need to go ahead and sell at 80%. Now you kind of know what to expect. You know, we all want that 100%, but if you didn't put yourself in position based on the premium price you paid for 100%, you're probably not going to get it. And I've seen some of my plays when they sit right at 80%. And I said, man, yeah, it'll be at 100% tomorrow. And then boom, goes south 50. And now I won't see 80% again. Well, now I'm coming to understand that was my number. So yeah, when it's coming to some of these technical analysis, man, just whatever works best for you. Like I said, Teron talking about he using 7. I'm like, 7, man. I know I'm not about to use 7, but I use these 2 right here. And they get the job done. And before I found these, I was just using the simple moving averages. And I was picking my price points. They wasn't the bottom, but they wasn't the top either. And I was getting returns. But now I can work on getting greater returns with using the technical analysis. So yeah, once you find your niche that's comfortable for you, because all of them a little confusing at first, man. I think I watched the Bollinger Band video 15 times. I watched the Alligator 25 times. But when I got it, I got it.
Yeah, I'm not really too big on Bollinger Bands, but all in all, I'm still brand new to everything in general, but charting. Like I just really started digging deep into charting, I think last week. But like I'm a person who will sit there. I'm stubborn, so I'll sit there for I'm stubborn and I have the time. I'll sit there for like 5 hours looking at video after video, just because I'm just interested, not because I'm frustrated and I want to get it understood. It's just like that's just how I focus in on things. And what happened with me with the technical analysis is like I'm pretty sure everyone has experienced this before, where something will interest them, doesn't matter what subject matter it is, and then when you have a question pops up in your head, and you go search for that answer, and when you get that answer might raise 2 or 3 more questions, and then you searching for those answers, and then each of those questions or each of those answers, create more questions. That's just what happened with me with charting, and I went down rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole, and then like the end result is I use like 7 different indicators. Now it sounds like a lot, like, oh my gosh, like 7. But when you look at it, like once you've learned it, like David was just saying, he watched the video a bunch of times on just Bollinger Bands. Now he got it. So that's 1. He looked at the Alligator method like 20 something times, and now it's he got it solidified. So that's 2. That's basically what I did, and then the end result is I use everything. Like Davian talks about the RSI, that's another indicator. The MACD, that's another indicator. So it just added up over time. That's basically essentially what will happen.
All right, I just put a YouTube video in the chat. We was talking about reading the candles earlier. You can save that video. I kind of condensed it, just gave the basics, so you getting what you need and not all the other fluff. And basically what it's going to tell you, green candles, as far as the opening, it opens at the bottom. That's whatever the stock price is, opens here. And it kind of makes sense once you get the hang of it, and then it goes up and it closes. Now this red candle, it opened at the top. Whatever the stock price was that day, that's when it opened. But then this tells you it went on a downtrend, and this is where it closed. But the market goes up and down throughout the day. So throughout the day, it got as low as this point. That's what the sticks tell you, how low it got that day. But it actually closed here, and it opened here. Same with the green one. It opened at the bottom, and it closed at the top. So whatever the stock price was at the time it opened for the market, and it closed here, and it got as high as this, but it ended up coming back down here to close. That's pretty much what the YouTube video will tell you on reading candles. And you kind of need to know that when you're dealing with here. So let me go back to the Alligator. Like I said, the Alligator is just real good at letting you know when things are going to turn. That's what I like about it. Go ahead, Mimi.
So can you show us again? I know you showed us 2 weeks ago the formula that you put in the bottom to get the lip, teeth, and jaw, and then the Bollinger Bands.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and show that in real time here. Blow this up real quick. Now we just want to see how these candles was moving based on the alligator method. So rule of thumb, once again, pink lips, gold teeth, black jaw. You can't see it down here because it's cut off, but down here the indicator indicated that we was going on this long run here. But the lips are above the teeth and the jaw. Once the lips cross over the teeth and the jaw, is going to signal a downtrend. But notice the lips did not cross over the jaw, they just crossed over the teeth. But other rule of thumb is your candles when they open and close. So if a candle closes below the teeth, which is here, it's going to signal a downtrend. Now these lines are a lagging indicator. As you can see, the candle closed below the teeth here. But if you're looking at the pink lips that day, it didn't cross over. So that's why you got to learn this part right here. Because if you wait until the line does cross, you're kind of too late on the trend. So always remember that. If it closes below the teeth, it's going to signal a downtrend. If it closes above the teeth, it's going to signal an uptrend. So
Right.
we got to go ahead.
No, I was the actual numbers you did to create the lines.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go through that.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm gonna actually go to it real time, just kind of showing everybody the candles and how they move with the alligator. Like I said, right here we had that reversal, but it didn't last long, and then we went on the uptrend again. The lips are above the teeth, and the lips are above the jaw. Now, as they spread further apart like this here, you start getting space. That lets you know you're going to have a huge uptrend. There's going to be some momentum there. So as you see, we went up here pretty strong. Trying to see what that was, June. So that was at least about a week and a half, close to it. 10, 17. So yeah, we're about 2 weeks with this uptrend right here. And then, as you can see, we closed below the teeth. So now that's going to start our downtrend. Close below the teeth, starting our downtrend. So now the lips are crossing over the teeth. Now the lips are crossing over the jaw. And we're on our downtrend. But what happens here? Can anybody answer what happened here? The candle closed above the teeth. Gold is the teeth, this is the candle. It opened here, but it closed here, see? And boom, that gave us the signal for the uptrend. And then that's when it started going up. So hindsight 2020, looking back now, if I had these skills back then, I'd have made different decisions, probably got in a few more plays. But now let me go back to the RSI. Anybody got any questions on that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just, David, I was just going to make a suggestion, and this is what I did because I feel the same way because I said to myself, because I just really figured out how to use that alligator just recently. I said, dang, if I'd have had this, I wouldn't have gotten in that lily play where I did. I waited a little bit, but what I did for my alligator, that the jaw, the lips, I sort of thicken that line because that's that line that crosses over that tells you that's your, I guess, your indicator. So that's what I made in my chart. I just made it a little thicker so that I know, okay, if it's above the lips, I'm good to go. Then when it crosses over in the downtrend, that it's going to be still, it's going to have a different position.
Yep, exactly. Mimi, you still on?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through stock charts in real time. This is one I already got set up, but I'll just pull up a new one.
So I have another question. So are you able to do that alligator chart, and then you're able to watch it live, so you can make that decision during?
Correct.
You are? Okay.
Correct. So, and y'all put a few plays in the chat, and I'll run through them. Like Eli Lilly, Mela today, I'll run here with the alligator. So basically, I just pulled up stockcharts.com. This is how mine pulls up initially. Get these ads out the way. So a bunch of mumbo jumbo down there that I don't use. So MACD, some people use that. I don't use that. So we come down here, and the way I like to set mine up, chart type, I like to use candlesticks. And this is what my man was talking about, daily. I keep mine on daily, what the stock is doing that day. And what this is your candles moving up based on the day. Now, if you change this on time, like hours or something, or weeks, then it'll show the candle what it's doing that week. But we keeping ours on the daily. 1 year out, I'm just gonna put this for 6 months so I can dial in a little closer for you guys. As you can see right here, it says this is the candles, and it's on auto. But I like my up to be green, my down candle to be red. Come down here, I like my candles to be solid. Like I said, these are just my preferences. And here is where you create the alligator. Now there's several options in here. Now the Bollinger Bands is already self-made, but on the alligator, it won't say alligator. But you have to create all 3 lines. And you do that with simple moving averages. Simple moving, simple moving, simple moving. I got my 3. All right. Now when it comes to the alligator, you have 13, you have 8, and you have 5. 13 is the jaw. So now I'm gonna create my colors. I like my jaw to be black. 8 is the teeth. Gold teeth. 5 is the lips. Pink lips. Boom. Keep in mind there's other indicators in here, things that you could use, but I use the simple averages. So as you get more familiar with stockcharts.com, you're welcome to go in there and explore those different strategies. Indicators. This is where we use the RSI. Once again, a lot of different options in here. MACD, things that you want to use, price performance. I'm only focusing on the RSI. Click RSI, I turn these other ones off. Because I like to keep my chart clean. Anything you got up here will be up at the top of your chart. Like I said, I like to keep my chart clean, so I just turn those off. Parameters for alligator, default is 14. I hit my update, and this is how my chart will look. What is that? Y'all got a stock in mind? What the cat talking about? AXP?
AVGO.
Yeah, that's one of my babies right there. I don't rinse and repeated that thing too. Man, what's going on? Oh, get these ads out the way. Okay. Now we're just looking at trends. This is the alligator method. Let me change. Now, what you want to know about AVGO?
So this is what happened today.
All this is historical. What happened today
Okay.
is right here in this little area right here.
There.
Because when
Okay.
these are your months and dates down here.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we are now, and
Right.
this is the
So
stock price at the time.
okay. So if you wanted to watch it live, is there a way for you to watch? Like you have people saying 1 minute, 5 minute, hour, 4 hour.
Oh,
Is that
no,
possible here too?
well, if you got this pulled up during the day and the stock market is running, you're gonna see it move.
Are you gonna see it move? Okay.
Yeah, not much to this really, other than it's more for research than anything. I mean, you're gonna see your stock price go up and down because this the stock price.
Oh, okay.
But
So during the
this is
stock
more for
market,
research.
this is moving.
Yeah, it's moving during the day,
Oh.
and you can tell it's moving during the day because whatever the candle is for that day, because it's still going up and down, it'll be highlighted in yellow all day to let you know.
Oh, okay. I never looked at it during the stock market. Okay.
But like I said, when you're pulling it up this way, it's all about identifying trends, getting to know the company and how it performs.
Right.
So that's what this is for. Now, if you want to look at it in real time, because like I said, if I want to make a call, if I want to make a decision before closing to buy a stock or not, I would just I blow this out here so I can see it. I put like a 1 month. That way it blows up right here and I can see what's going on in real time. This is the decisions. See, all this doesn't happen. All you kind of doing is looking at this to identify trends. How did it move? How did it react to the alligator? We know that if it closed above the teeth, it's going to signal an uptrend. So let's look at the trends and see did it actually do that each time. And if it did, then I know once I get down here, it's been true back here that if it closes above the teeth, it's going to indicate an uptrend. So once it closes above the teeth up here, which it did right here, we should be getting ready to go into an uptrend. But keep in mind, the lips have not crossed over the teeth and the jaw yet. But this is telling you that it will. So we should be ready to go into an uptrend. Or it could go sideways as the lines get closer. So like I said, right here is where you're making your decisions at. Based on the candle when it closed. Did it close above the teeth? Did it close below the teeth? For you to make your next decision. Like I said, right now, these lines are stretched out pretty far, but now they're getting ready to come back together. But in this instance, today, it closed above the teeth. So we could be getting ready to go into an uptrend.
Okay.
It could be a small uptrend. It could be a big one. Like these right here, they wasn't that long. And keep in mind, look at your dates. That's how you really kind of turn how long those runs went. That's October 7th. So we went north until the 14th. So that thing ran for 7 days. You got to keep all that stuff in mind too. we get losing track of time sometimes, and that time is valuable. Like I've heard Trap say, man, the thing been running for 6 months. It need a rest. So you got to be mindful of that. Keep track of the time it's been running.
So on October 14th, you said when it closes above the teeth, it's gonna do an uptrend. See October 14th with the red candle.
October 14th. So this is 14th.
So it closed above the teeth, but then it created a downtrend. It had a gap, but then it, right? Am I saying it right?
Well, in this instance right here,
closed above the teeth.
no, yeah, in this instance right here, you're looking at the 14th. There's no issue because it's still above the teeth, so we still on an upward trajectory.
Right, but then the next day it dropped.
Yep, the next day it dropped. It dropped below the teeth. It opened above the teeth, but it closed below the teeth. And look what happened. It went down.
Mm-hmm.
So your indication was here, and then the lips followed suit. It went down. And then the next day, it closed below the teeth again. But then after that, it closed above the teeth. But see, right here, we sideways.
Okay.
And when you see it like this here, you really want the lips to be up under the teeth and the jaw.
Okay. Then that indicates what? It indicates uptrend?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Got a question? Who we got? Maurice?
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
All right.
So, this is my first time on one of the calls, but I've been reading charts for quite a bit. But this is my first time learning about the alligator method. I usually use like the Ichimoku cloud, which is kind of similar. So when you just said, let's say for the 29th, we had a open below the teeth, but it closed above the teeth, right? Which signals an uptrend. But based off of the 9th of October, would you say because the RSI was kind of high on the 9th to essentially be a little worried about taking that uptrend unless that RSI starts to push down? Because wouldn't that kind of give us a resistant line unless we were looking at more of a breakthrough than anything, right?
But look at here, the RSI never hit 70, so I wouldn't been the concern.
No.
See right here, the RSI never hit 70.
Yeah.
You can see it going up right here. We up. RSI follow suit. It's up, but it never hit 70.
Okay. So while it's going up there, even though there might be some resistance, be going off of AVGO like historically, because are we like more in the area of like all-time highs right now? I can't see how far that chart goes back, but it looked like the last couple of times it hit that price, we were getting some resistance.
Let's blow it out, because once again, that's what all this is about, trends and research. So let's see what it's been doing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Because I only pushed it out a month, and this is what we've been going for a month.
You see, going back to like that June 15th area, we had that resistance at that price as well. So wouldn't that be kind of like a strong indication that that we may get some resistance there? Maybe be a little bit more calculated on our entries on this in that area.
Yeah, that's true. Facts. That's true. But like, if we look at here, this is the only time that we were really, that thing was really getting some momentum above 70. After that, if you was
It was
looking at
getting
trends,
weaker.
yeah, if you was looking at trends right here, you probably would think it would go up there, but it never did, and we haven't seen those levels since then. And like I was saying earlier, this is when Trap likes to make his play. So if it's down here, he's looking for that momentum, and he's looking for, now right here, Trap probably would have jumped in. This is what Trap wants to see. But then we end up going right back down again. Never hit 30, but never hit 70 either. So using the alligator in this way, you just kind of scalp, and you ain't necessarily looking for 100%. But if you using it this way, man, you can get you 25, 30%, sell it, jump back in 25, 30% once you figure out the trends and how this thing moves.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're not looking for the big play. Now we all in here looking for 100%, but after you get past that part of the mindset, because a lot of us done made some money in here, but we let it go because we held too long.
Yeah.
I'm guilty.
Like me looking at this chart, I would think, okay, boom, we at 176.64 right now. If I was going to jump in and scalp this one, I'd probably buy in around that 176, 177 area, but I'd probably be looking to sell at about 184, just to scalp on this one because of I know that once it hits that ceiling at 185, that it might turn around, but it also might shoot through because we have essentially a bunch of pressure. That RSI is lowering as it's hitting that 185 each time, so that the RSI is weakening. So that is a strong indication that, hey, we're gonna blow the lid as well. So but yeah, it definitely makes sense now.
So now looking at this here, I had this blew out, but we had determined that it looks like it's getting ready to go on the uptrend. Now we might get an uptrend here, but just looking at the history from all these months, we probably don't get no higher than this. So as you monitoring the RSI, monitoring it, and it gets to this level right here, plus you reading the alligators, you probably get a turn about right here. So that's probably about how much you'll get on your return. So once you start seeing the RSI up in here, and then what the alligator is giving you, probably gonna get a downturn from up there. That's just me looking at this here. And keep in mind, none of this is exact science. It's just making yourself aware of what's possible.
So would you be going on let's say for instance we're throwing options up at this, you wouldn't necessarily be going for leaps. What are you looking more into, like a 90-day?
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. When AVGO took that hit, I got in down here.
Yep.
See what that is? Yeah, I got in down here, and I already went up 125% and sold it and got back in.
But are you jumping on like a 6-month call, 3-month call? Like what would you say as far as giving us some wiggle room for where we should put our calls at? Are we looking at that 90-day? We looking at that 120-day to put any
play that I start to research and look, I'm automatically gonna look 6 months.
Okay.
After you done did your research, determine your strike price, I'm automatically gonna look at my platform and see what's available for 6 months. See what the premium prices are. If I think they're too high, okay, let me go 5 months. Let me go 4 months. Let me go out a little further. But initially, when I'm putting in my information, I'm automatically doing 6 months.
Okay.
Now you don't have to hold it for 6 months. That goes back to what I did here. 16th to the 24th. Now that expiration was at least 2-3 months.
Okay.
I didn't hold it that long. I made my money.
Yep.
You just you just putting in that expiration to buy you some time, and just in case it go left, you got time to recover. Just like the Meta 505. We bought enough time to sit and fester in that thing until it recovered.
Okay.
Now that was about the only play I just sat in the longest and didn't reap no reward. Plays like this right here, when you're positioned at the right time, you ain't got to be in them long.
Yeah. Okay, and I had one more question. So since this is my first call, I was just trying to find out, where do I find the previous calls to do some research, or the previous calls that y'all done on here? Is there a place where I can find them?
Well, it just recorded, man. So I just post them in the chat. So
okay, they're just in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty, 10-4.
I
appreciate it, man.
You want to look at?
This is Gerald. How do you search? Sorry, I jumped on late. How do you search in the chat for the recorded calls? I know the first one we didn't record, and I was traveling last week, well, the last time. But how do you search for them?
Well, I mean, the way Trap got the chat set up, ain't really no search, man. You just scrolling the scroll.
Okay.
Like I said, I posted, 2 or 3 times as people requested them who was on the call. But the chat get flooded with new posts, so it gets lost in there.
Yep.
So yeah, I can throw those in there tonight. Now the one we're doing now won't be ready for another 12, 24 hours.
Okay.
But the one from last week, I can throw that one in there.
Thank you.
So there was a call last week, Davian?
Yeah. I've been doing them every 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. Okay, I thought you said last week. Okay.
Yeah, that last call. Anybody got another stock they want to look at? Oh, okay, I see AMAT up here. AMAT.
Oh, I have another question. So with the Bollinger Bands, is it a certain number placement on the bottom to get them, or is it already automatically set?
Now
on the bottom.
Bollinger Bands,
Yes,
the only thing you need to do based off this method is, I'll show you here real quick. I'm gonna change it from I think the default is 20 and 2. So Bollinger Bands. See, that's 20 and 2. You're just gonna change this to 30 for this method. All these ads. And then on the RSI, on the RSI, we want to change that to 13 when you're using the Bollinger Band method. And that's all you really need to do. And like I said, I turn these off when I'm using the Bollinger Band method. And update. And see, this is your Bollinger Band here, your resistance level, upper resistance, lower resistance, and then this is the average price. Like I said, this is really why I look at the Bollinger Bands. Give me that average price.
Thank you.
We was looking at AMAT. And turn all this other stuff off. I don't use. All right, so you can see AMAT pretty active. Just looking at RSI. Get that thing all over the place. We got a question on AMAT. Who put AMAT in here?
Yeah, I got a call on that for AMAT. It's looking like it's finna go on the uptrend. Look like it's finna go up.
Let's see what we're talking about. Let me go to the all right. Pink lips, gold teeth, black jaw. The pink line is at the bottom. When the pink line crosses over the gold teeth and the jaw, signaling an uptrend. But once again, those lines could be a lagging indicator. So ultimately, you want to look at what's going on with your candles and when they close. And this is what we're talking about here. Candle closed above the teeth. Candle closed above the teeth. And the lips have crossed over the teeth, and the lips are getting ready to cross over the jaw. So yeah, we should be getting ready to go into an uptrend. How long will it last? We don't know. But then again, you can kind of look at the RSI. The RSI above below 50. So that lets me know we got some running room. That's why I like to be below 50. Like Trap want to make sure it's gonna run, so he want to see it hit above 50 and start an uptrend. Because I know eventually we're gonna leave here, and that's just gonna give me way more upside. See what I'm saying? Way more upside. Now, right now we got it out to a month. So let me go back to 6 months just to see how many times that thing has been oversold, overbought above 70. So here we haven't been overbought since June 17th. So that's about the latest high right there. So at this point here, I would speculate that I can at least get here or here before it starts the next downtrend again. But yeah, for right now, man, should see some upside if we don't repeat what's going on here. But I think back here, we had that event going on August 1st. I think that was that CrowdStrike thing that happened, and every stock in the book went down. Questions on that? Uber. I'm in that Uber play. So just looking at the trends on Uber 6 months out, if I want to study if the alligator really behaves with Uber, we can go do some research back here. Okay, I'll start here. Pink lips, gold teeth, black jaw. The lips are below the teeth and the jaw. We're on that downtrend. Right here, we had some gold teeth activity, but it's still closed below. We didn't start our uptrend until here. Right here, here we go. Closed above the teeth. And then our lips start transferring over, crossing over the teeth, crossing over the jaw. And then we had our uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. And then the uptrend stops when what? The candle closes below the T. That was our top level. And then boom, there we go. Starting the downtrend. So you just gotta identify which candle was the one that closed below the teeth to or above the teeth, depending on where you are, to start your next transition up or down. Questions on that? So now just blowing this out, let's see.
Before you move on that, so when we look at that, right? So we're in that play, you're in that play for 6 months. I don't know what percentage are you up at that point in time where the candle closed below the teeth, where it started a little downward trend. But if you're only up 30, well, I can't tell what the numbers are. If you're up 40% or 50% and you're in it for 6 months, do you just hold? I mean,
yeah, I would hold.
Okay.
Because you got time on it.
Right.
Provided that the story hadn't changed, you know, or they had bad earnings. Like these earning calls, they've been pretty good, and you know we still having some negative effects. But people that have been here with me, Trap ran a fast play, FAST, fast, and they had poor guidance, and that stock tanked because of the earnings call, and Trap had ran that play. But it's not a play that Trap would normally run. He was doing that because people was asking for plays that didn't cost that much. They call it the little accounts. And a lot of people got in that play and pretty much lost. And he pretty much told everybody to sell it. I still held it. And I held it because I had so much time on it. And that thing had got off when we was talking about percentages down, and Mr. Larry said he was down 95. This is the one I was down 98. Fast. But it has just now started to come back. I'm only down 19% now, but we bought this thing back in February. So I just weathered the storm. It was only like $1,100-$1,200, but
where do you see the calculations of your percentage growth? Is that something that's done inside the options play, or is it something that you're calculating?
You talking about what I did on my sheet up there?
Yeah. Or anything where you're saying, okay, we're up 20%, 50%, 100%. Where are you seeing those numbers?
Well, you seeing those numbers on your platform.
Okay.
But the little sheet I did, those are percentages I created to track my sales, my profits and losses. Because in the beginning, man, I was just jumping in and out of plays. I'm like, well, damn, man, am I really making money or not?
Right.
Then I had to come up with that. Oh, somebody got the KLAC play in there. I've been looking at that all weekend because I was trying to get in that KLAC play when it was at 563. Right? 563? No, 663. Huge dip. So this KLAC thing could be turning around, but then again, you know, we dealing with earnings too. Now after earnings call, I saw it get up to 705. So I thought we was getting ready to hit that run. I thought we made it. But then later on, it dropped all the way back down to like 696. So who knows what it's gonna look like in the morning when the market open up because of the earnings call. But yeah, we should be getting ready to go into a uptrend. I had a question on that? NVIDIA. NVIDIA unpredictable at the moment.
Oh, that's crazy.
Now, NVIDIA pretty much been going up here, as you can see. October 7th.
You know, but like you said, but based on where the teeth are now, where the lips are, they're below the teeth.
Yep, like it's getting ready to go on a downtrend. But like I said, we closed above the teeth here. This was today. We closed below the teeth. The pink line has crossed over the teeth, but they have not crossed over the black line yet. So what's tomorrow? Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
We could close back above the teeth tomorrow and continue our trajectory. So right now, you're probably looking at some sideways momentum right here. Hard to gauge as far as trying to get in and out, or unless you just want to know what's going on. Now, this is when we go back to our RSI. So the RSI kind of touched 70 here, but it's just been back and forth. So it ain't been overbought or oversold. It's just at a nice steady momentum. Not too many people in and out of it, which is good sometimes. So now it's coming back down.
But there's a good chance that that jaw could go above the teeth, though, right?
Yeah, yeah. The lips cause the shots. So the lips the one doing all the crossing and moving. These is like your resistance levels almost. But
Gotcha.
when that lip is moving across the teeth and the jaw, that's going to be signaling the downtrend. So if we get another close below the teeth tomorrow, yeah, you're probably definitely looking at more downtrend. Right now, we can say it's sideways.
Or those teeth and the lips can kind of just trail together.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you don't know if it's going to be a downswing or an upswing. It can go up and down, up and down, up and down, but it wasn't huge like this. You see, when they start spreading apart like this, after it crossed over, see here, the pink never crossed over the black on the downside or the upside.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like I said, once they start spreading apart like this, that gives you an indication that it's going to be a upward trajectory for a minute. And the same thing going down, that once they start spreading apart, farther apart. And see, they stay open pretty consistently all the way up here. Got a little close here, but then they open back up. And see, now we're coming close together again. So we could be going sideways for a minute, or we could be getting ready to turn around and go the other way. But I'm confident. Well, I don't know, man, because keep in mind, NVIDIA earnings call at the end of November. That could change everything.
Yeah, I know. I did an earlier play at like 134, got in, got out, dropped another play for 145, but it's just been kind of riding that line, trading up to like 144, but it haven't passed that 144, so I've been kind of stuck.
Yeah. That's where everybody's at. And yeah, I haven't done any new plays. I'm in a 130 and a 140, and I've been in that 140 forever. That 140 trap dropped like right after they split, I believe. And then next thing you know, that thing went south, and I've just been trying to recover ever since. But I done been in some other NVIDIA plays, like the 115 and the 120, made a little money and got out. But I've constantly held on to the 140. So this is one I've been holding for a minute. And it got a January expiration on it.
Oh, you got plenty of time.
Man, people be saying that, but when it comes to options, man, them months come around quick. When you ain't hit your strike price yet. If you don't hit your strike, you good. I'll do one more here. Netflix. Netflix already doing the thing. Netflix was too expensive for me. Where's Netflix? Netflix. Today, 30th.
Yeah, that would play was like $50-something, wasn't it? 57, 58.
Yeah, that's pretty steep.
Yeah.
All right, so the lips have crossed over the teeth and it has closed below the teeth. So we could be on our way down, but at the same time, lips still have not crossed over the jaw. So it could go sideways. Not a definite downtrend just yet. But keep your eye on it.
This Gerald Johnson or one.
All right, man, that's pretty much all I had, man. And if there's something else y'all want to discuss, man, don't hesitate to hit me up in the chat, anybody in the chat. These are the links that I use to learn what I've learned. Like I said, I like the Bollinger Bands and I like the Alligator method. I'm gonna give y'all this here too.
Davian, thank you so much for going over there with us, because that just really helps me. So I appreciate that.
No problem. Like we were discussing earlier, Trap gives out lottery picks. I took the liberty after I got settled in the course and everything like that. Every lottery pick that Trap dropped, I added to a spreadsheet. So you will see Trap talk about the value, the buy-in price, and the load to vote. And this right here is the current stock price. Now I have codes in here where it downloads the actual stock price in real time automatically. So you don't have to touch that. So I'm gonna give you this sheet and then y'all just save it on another name to your own platform, and then you can just update it as lottery picks come in. And basically all you want to do is, because I put the newest play at the top. You could go at the bottom, I just put the newest play at the top. So insert row above, and then what I want you to do is copy and paste that last formula. Right click, make sure you hit paste special, because you only want to put the formula in there. Formula, and you do that over here also. Copy this, paste, right click, form only. Now, whenever everything is linked to the everything is linked to the ticker symbol. So any ticker symbol you put in here that's the correct ticker symbol, it'll give you the name and the stock price. And you just keep doing that as Trap puts in lottery picks. See that?
You gonna have that in the chat, or where you gonna put that?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give y'all this link in the chat right now. Just wanted to show you how to use it there. Like I said, hit file, save on your own, and that way y'all can update it. Because I think it's gonna try to ask me to give y'all permission. Yeah, I don't want to keep doing that. Hey, somebody pull that up real quick. Let me see if it's gonna try to ask me for permission, or if y'all can save it to your sheet on another name so you can update it regularly.
Yeah, joining right now. As it's, let's see how we say file, save as file. Open new, make a copy.
Did that work for you? I just want to make sure it's not going to ask me for permission. After that, I got to go to my emails to update.
No, I just did it. I just went to file, make a copy, hit save, and it shows up just under my Gmail account.
Okay, cool. That's what I needed to do. Because if you try to access it, it's going to try to ask me to give you permission. And I want you to make it your own. So you can update it as you see fit.
Yeah.
All right. Got everything y'all need. Let's see. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's it. I sure appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said, I don't mind sharing game. It helps me learn more. When you can explain it, just gonna help me be even better with executing my plays, and hopefully it does the same for you. Reach one, teach one.
Yeah, man. Good looking out on doing this, Davian, man. Look, I when I seen Trap shout you out, man, I thought that was so dope last week on Trapping Tuesdays, man. I was turned up, man. Appreciate all you doing for the group, man, for real.
All right, no problem, man.
Was you
We'll see y'all next
was you
week.
lit when Trap shouted you out on Trapping Tuesday? Was you lit, man?
Hey, to be honest with you, man, he never remember my name, but because I don't interacted with him on a couple of deals. When he was doing the live shows in cities, he came to Dallas. I asked that same question, man, about Google. All my questions have been about Google when it came to Trap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was appreciative though, for sure.
I do have one more question for everybody, if it's okay to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
Regarding the buy and hold portfolio, I know we've been talking about options tonight, and this is like, I appreciate it. I got 3 pages full of notes right now. On the buy and hold portfolio specifically, is there a number that you're looking to get out at? Because every one of the buy and hold, and I know we talked about it earlier on, maybe an hour and a half ago here, but it feels like every one of the buy and holds through this year have definitely overperformed. And I've been like tempted, all right, when do I get out? When do I stay? And I've heard some people say that they clear out their portfolio at the end of the year. Is there a rule specifically you're following?
Me personally, man, when I started, it was all about you can make money in the stock market, buy and hold. That I was doing that, my buy and holds made a little money, I cash them out. But then I met Trap, and he would literally get in people's ass. Why you sell? He had just convinced me that don't worry about price. I think Eli Lilly was the first expensive stock I bought, because my mindset was always, buy them cheap as possible so I can get as many shares. And I heard him say one day, you bought a lot of shares, but the stock ain't moving. And I'm sitting in here watching the group, and he's picking these expensive stocks, and they was like moving. So I took it upon myself. He had convinced me. I bought Eli Lilly. Couldn't buy but one share, like $400 or $500 at the time. And that thing had moved up to 600, and I sold it and got my $200. And I heard him get on somebody about that. You buy and hold is where you build your wealth. Don't sell them. you know, and you probably hear him talk about, you know, set a goal by 20, by 50, by 100, by 500, by 1,000. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not really even especially since I learned this option game now, I'm not even really looking at getting buy and holds to a certain level to sell them and cash out. Because like you said, like Jeff Bezos and all these guys, they rich because of their stock options. They don't even have the cash in their pocket. But when you say they worth these billions, it's because of the amount of stocks that they hold.
And that was going to be something I was going to ask. I just didn't know if this was like the right setting for it. But when it comes to buy and hold, because I've been, you know, working 9 to 5 and corporate, it's been, you know, been doing that for my whole career so far. Options have been entirely new for me this year. So like when I look at my buy and hold and I'm, you know, a little over 6 figures, and I think, okay, what happens when I start getting, you know, some real amount of equity in here? What does a liquidation event look like? Is it, you know, I got some friends that do a line of equity, depending on what brokerage they use. They're able to I don't want to call it margin accounts, but they're able to take they're able to use it basically on margin in a way, but that's how they fund buying other assets. But I was curious how everybody in this group chat, or not group, but in the Patreon, was doing it with their buy and hold. I just heard people talking about selling, and for me, I've never actually, I just don't sell. I've just been holding it for years and years, so I have a good amount. I'm just like, okay, great. How do I actually liquidate this in the most efficient way?
Oh yeah, now that is the question that he makes sure you ask yourself. If you're gonna sell it, what you gonna do with it? You know, what are you gonna do with it? Because you know, and you always reevaluating the portfolio, because you might be holding those things and you just holding them. They're not even performing no more. So could you sell these 1,000 shares? They have value, but you know, at this point in time, whoever the company is, it's not performing anymore. Your money is just there. So let's sell and move it to another performing asset that triple its value again.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the play.
It's a story that had my wife finally move off a stock. Like, you know, we have, you know, our portfolio from work also buy and hold. But was the Toys R Us story, because we had been holding the company we both worked at for a while in the 90s, Allied Signal, but just has not moved at all. And I was like, you know, they're going to be Toys R Us one day. So we should sell that and move it into something else, because we've held it for 20 years, right? And it just sat there.
Exactly. That's a prime example right there, man. If it's not performing anymore, like Trap saying, man, every stock needs to prove why it should be in your portfolio.
Yeah.
So at the end of every year, you're kind of looking at it, see where it performed, and that's why Trap like to pick movers. If you took the course, the annual 10-year, that's part of the course. He tell you to do that. That's going to tell you if it's a mover or not.
I appreciate that more than you know. Thank you for this, and thank you for tonight, man.
Deserved. All right, man. If there's nothing else, man, we're gonna sign off, and we got Amazon earnings tomorrow. I got 3 plays in Amazon. I need that thing to hit. Y'all gonna see me screaming in the chat tomorrow for real. Appreciate y'all.
All right, thanks, Davian.
All right, thank y'all. Stop recording.